Eagle Nation, hold on to your seats because the ground underneath South Philly is shaking right now. We all felt the rumors, we all heard the whispers, but the reality is finally crashing down on us like a ton of bricks. Our superstar, our physical monster, A.J. Brown is officially on the move, and the era we thought would last forever is ending before our very eyes. This isn't just news, it is a seismic shift in our culture. We are building something legendary here together, so hit that subscribe button and help us reach 3,000 strong today. It feels like a punch to the gut, doesn't it? Seeing the reports that A.J. Brown and the Eagles have already agreed to move on from each other. We watched him dominate, we watched him bully defensive backs, and now we are staring at an off-season storyline that has completely taken over our lives. The truth is heavy because this isn't some wild speculation from the national media who doesn't understand us. This is the raw reality of a relationship that has reached its breaking point. Both sides are ready to turn the page, and the word on the street is that a deal might actually be completed behind closed doors as we speak. Can you imagine the tension in that locker room? Can you feel the weight of this decision on Howie Roseman's shoulders? We are talking about a guy who redefined our passing game. But the culture is shifting, and sometimes that means saying goodbye to the players we love the most. It is explosive, it is painful, and it is happening whether we are ready for it or not. I want you to really think about the legacy he leaves behind, the grit he showed on every single snap, and the way he represented the city of Philadelphia with every touchdown. But now the focus has to be on the future because the Eagles are not a team that sits around and cries over spilled milk. We are a franchise that reloads. We are a franchise that moves with a cold, calculated precision that other teams simply cannot match. Do you think this is the right move for the locker room? Do you think we are better off without the drama that has been swirling around AJ for months? It is a question that every single person in this city is asking right now as we wait for the calendar to flip. We are talking about a premium player, a superstar at the height of his powers. And yet the organization is ready to walk away because they believe in the path ahead. This is the hardest part of being a fan, seeing the business side of the NFL rip apart a connection that felt so permanent. It is a nightmare for some and a necessary evil for others, but it is our reality today, and we must face it head on together. The weight is absolutely killing us, but there is a very specific reason why everything is quiet right now. And it all comes down to that June 1st deadline that is hanging over our heads like a dark cloud. See, the Eagles are playing a very dangerous and very smart game with the salary cap, and they simply cannot announce anything until that date passes if they want to maximize their financial flexibility. But here is the thing that is going to keep you up at night. Just because June 2nd hits doesn't mean a deal has to be announced immediately. Howie Roseman is a shark, and he knows that deadlines spur action in this league, so he is sitting there with his feet up, waiting for the phones to start ringing off the hook. He is working the phones, he is testing the waters, and he is looking for the kind of compensation that makes people lose their minds. What if someone offers a 2027 first-round pick? What if a desperate team decides that A.J. Brown is the only thing standing between them and a Super Bowl trophy? That is when the game really starts. The Eagles are in a position of power because they have already set the stage for life after A.J., and that means they can afford to be patient while other general managers start to sweat. You have to wonder what is happening inside the front office right now, as they weigh the risks of waiting against the certainty of a deal that might already be on the table. It is a high-stakes poker game, where the stakes are our future and our dignity. They don't want you to know how close they are to pulling the trigger, but you can feel the energy building toward a climax. Is Howie looking for a 2028 first-rounder, or is he holding out for something even bigger that will shock the entire NFL world? This is the raw truth of the situation. The Eagles are moving on, but they are going to make sure they get every single ounce of value before they let him go. It is a masterpiece of management, or it could be a massive gamble that changes everything for the team. Let's talk about the destination because the rumors are pointing directly toward the New England Patriots. And it makes all the sense in the world for a team that is desperate for a true number one receiver to help their young roster. But why should we just settle for whatever the Patriots are offering right now when the entire landscape of the league changes after that June 1st deadline? This is where the narrative gets even crazier, because once that date passes, every single team in the NFL is going to look at their roster and realize they might be one piece away from greatness. Imagine a contender losing a player to injury or realizing their young guys aren't ready for the bright lights. Suddenly that 2027 first-round pick doesn't seem so expensive anymore. That is the victory the Eagles are looking for, a bidding war that drives the price through the roof and leaves us laughing all the way to the draft. I am telling you, the longer they can hold out, the better it is for us as a community, because we deserve the absolute best return for a talent like A.J. Brown. He has waited long enough. He wants to get to his new home and start learning a new playbook, but the Eagles don't owe him any favors right now. Our loyalty is to the logo and the future of this franchise, not to a player who is already halfway out the door. The real deadline is fluid. It could be June 2nd, it could be mid-June, or it could even stretch until the very start of training camp if Howie Roseman thinks he can squeeze one more pick out of a desperate rival. We are the ones in control here, and that is a beautiful thing even if it feels like we are losing a piece of our soul. Are you worried that waiting too long will create a circus at training camp? Does it bother you that we are still talking about this instead of focusing on the guys who actually want to be here? I am losing my mind trying to figure out the final price tag, but I know one thing for sure, the Eagles are playing for keeps. If you are still sitting there in denial thinking that A.J. Brown is going to be wearing midnight green this season, you need to wake up and look at the evidence, because the front office has been screaming their intentions from the rooftops. Why would we spend a first-round pick on a kid like Mekhi Lemon if we weren't planning on a massive vacancy at the receiver position? Why would we go out and sign Hollywood Brown and Elijah Moore in free agency if we were happy with our current room? And then you look at the trade for Dontavian Wicks and that $12.5 million extension they handed him, and the picture becomes crystal clear. These are not moves made by a team that is trying to keep its core together. These are the moves of a team that has already built a contingency plan centered around DeVonta Smith as our clear number one target. It is unbelievable how fast things change in this league, but you have to admire the way the organization has prepared for this moment. They didn't just let the situation explode without a safety net, they went out an entirely new identity for our offense. Seriously, look at the depth we have now with all these new weapons coming in to fill the void. It is a fast-paced, explosive group that might actually fit our new offensive vision better than a ball-dominant superstar ever could. I am not saying it won't hurt to see AJ in another jersey, but I am saying that we are ready for the transition. The wheels are in motion, and they aren't stopping for anyone. We are moving toward a culture that values the collective over the individual. And while it is a risky path, it is the one we have chosen to walk. Does this new look offense excite you, or are you terrified that we are losing too much star power at once? I have spent hours analyzing the tape on Lemon and Wicks, and I truly believe we have the talent to keep this train moving without missing a beat. The insider truth is that the team is already mentally past the AJ era, and they want us to be too. Everything we know about the Philadelphia Eagles is changing right now, and it is the most intense moment we have faced in years. We are standing at the edge of a new era, a future where DeVonta Smith leads the charge and a new wave of hungry receivers looks to prove the doubters wrong. This isn't just about one player or one trade. It is about the soul of this team and the culture we are building in that stadium every single Sunday. We are a tribe that thrives on respect and hard work, and if a player doesn't want to be part of that journey, then it is time to say goodbye and wish them luck elsewhere. But make no mistake, we are going to get ours. Howie Roseman is going to pull off another miracle, and we are going to have the draft capital to stay dominant for a long time. I want to see your fire in the comments right now, because this is where we draw the line in the sand. Is this the move that brings us back to the Super Bowl, or are we being let down by a management team that is playing with fire? I want to know if you believe in the new guys like Mekhi Lemon and Dontavian Wicks to carry the torch for our city. We are building something special on this channel, and your voice is the most important part of the conversation, so don't hold back. Tell me exactly how you feel about AJ Brown leaving and what you think the final trade package will look like when the dust finally settles. We are 3,000 strong and growing every single day because there is no fan base in the world like ours. We are loud, we are proud, and we never back down from a fight. The future is coming fast, and we are going to meet it head-on together as family. This is our year to prove everyone wrong once again. Thank you all for being the heart of this incredible movement. Bird Gang.